What even is a trade war? A trade war is like economic boxing. Countries slap tariffs, taxes, on imports to protect their own industries. A tariff war is one round in this economic fight, focused on raising import taxes to hurt the opponent's economy. According to the WTO, over 65% of global trade disputes since 2016 involved tariff escalations. Historian Paul Byrock called trade wars the smoke before the fire, and many economists today agree. Harvard's Trade Lab shows that trade wars often backfire, hurting the country that starts them just as much. Fun fact: the 1930s Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act is blamed for worsening the Great Depression. Yep, this is not new. Ever wonder why your new sneakers cost 50s more than last year? Trump versus China. Why he pulled the trigger. In 2018, Donald Trump launched a tariff war against China, accusing them of unfair trade practices, intellectual property theft, currency manipulation. The U.S. trade deficit with China hit $375 billion in 2017. Trump wanted a new deal. America first. According to the U.S. Trade Representative, the move aimed to pressure China into opening its markets. Analysts at McKinsey say it was also about controlling the future of tech and data supremacy. Was Trump being a tough negotiator or starting a fire he couldn't put out? What did the U.S. really want? Trump's big goals: bring factories back to America, defend intellectual property, reduce China's dominance in supply chains, strengthen U.S. global leverage. Goldman Sachs labeled it strategic decoupling. But economists like Joseph Stiglitz and MIT's Darren Acemoglu warned it might reduce growth, raise prices, and hurt innovation. Apple considered moving some production to India. So did other tech giants. Would you pay $1,500 for an iPhone made in Michigan? China strikes back. Beijing didn't blink. Tariffs on U.S. soybeans, cars, tech, canceled billions in farm imports, poured money into R&D and tech independence. U.S. farmers, especially in the Midwest, were devastated. The USDA sent out $28 billion in emergency aid. The People's Bank of China ramped up investments in local innovation. Alibaba's Jack Ma said, "Trade war? Opportunity to upgrade China. Did China turn a punch into a push forward?" World reaction: popcorn or panic? Europe tried to stay neutral but took damage. German cars? Hurt. French wine? Tariff target. Africa saw a trade gap they could fill. India and Vietnam welcomed U.S. firms escaping China. The World Bank says $1.7 trillion in trade was shaken. Morgan Stanley noted a 12% surge in Southeast Asia exports during the peak of the war. Should the world choose sides or sit back and sell popcorn? Wait, why not Russia? Trump didn't launch a trade war with Russia. Why? Trade volume with U.S. is small. Geopolitical risk. Pushing Russia closer to China wasn't ideal. Intelligence reports suggest it was strategic non-engagement. Analysts from Rand, Sberbank, and Stratfor say Russia could benefit by acting as a neutral supplier. Was this smart politics or just a blind spot? Winners and losers. Who cashed in? U.S. manufacturers struggled with rising costs. Farmers lost Chinese markets. Mexico and Vietnam became alternative suppliers. Hedge funds profited from chaos and currency swings. Bloomberg called this a trader's paradise, exporter's headache. Did the little guys get smarter or just stepped on? How it hit your wallet? Smartphones? Up by 20% in some areas. Cars? Up by 10-15%. Fast food chains? Raised prices due to ingredient costs. Federal Reserve reports the average U.S. household lost $831 per year from price hikes. Credit card APRs rose 0.75% in the aftermath. Invisible tax is what Moody's called it. Did your wallet feel lighter during the trade war? The final take: is it worth it? Some supply chains moved home, but prices rose, growth slowed, and allies got annoyed. HSBC, Barclays, and JP Morgan say, unless tech reshoring accelerates, the pain may outweigh the gain. Historians warn, protectionism can cause long-term stagnation. See 1930s. CIA and Chinese MSS both monitor the outcomes of this war, because it's not just trade, it's geopolitics. Should we fight fire with fire or build fireproof policies? Drop your thoughts below. Was this trade war a power move or an economic boomerang? Share, debate, and stay sharp.